Hey cutie. Welcome back, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Laura. Hi, hello, welcome. Happy December. It's time for the most used makeup from November, and I just kind of tell you my standout products. The products that aren't in projects. So I know I spend a lot of my time focusing on project pan items, trying to get things out of my collection here on this channel. If that kind of thing is your kind of thing, I would love it if you subscribe before moving on. But I do a lot of project pans on this channel, just trying to, not a lot of project pans in terms of quantity of projects, but I do try to finish the vast majority of makeup that I do own. This is a way for me to shop my stash and yet not feel shackled to the items that I'm panning or the items that are in my shop my stash. So I have my face products, my eye products, and then my lip products all kind of spread out in front of me. So we'll just start with the face products first. And I only grabbed the items that I used over 5 times. So there's no like total dud products. These are products that I found myself really wanting to reach for. This doesn't have a rhyme or reason to it. I will just talk about the products that I tend to reach for. If there's any standouts, I'll kind of mention it. But looking at this is mostly items that were in my shop, my stash. I have a primer that I used quite often this past month. This is the AOA Cosmic Cowgirl Primer. This I was kind of trying to maybe attempt to finish this up before the end of the year, which I definitely could finish this up. But at the same time, I'm also like, well, this could also be a very easy product to just finish quickly in the beginning of the year, giving me a lot of like momentum in project panning, because I am someone that once I start like hitting the groove in panning, it like kind of snowballs. So it's almost like, do I want to finish it right now and then just like continue that momentum, or do I want to hold on to this for January when like all the new projects are starting and like you need a win to feel accomplished? So I don't know, let me know what you would do. After that, I really only had one like cream face product after that, and that was the concealer I've been using. This is another one. I was really trying to finish this. I think I just kind of come to terms where I'm not going to finish this before the end of the year, so I don't know. This is also a little bit too dark for me, and this or my foundation that I'm almost done with, something's breaking me out, and I haven't put this away. I've really been just trying to focus. I'm like, I can just like get it gone. Like, you're so close. But I don't know, I might want to put this away and see if there's some, like, if this is causing some of the breakouts, or if it's like, if I'm approaching that time of month. I don't know. I need to maybe put this away for a little bit. The rest is really powder cheek products other than setting sprays before we get to the other categories. So I guess I'll go in order still of powders. I reached for these 2 powders, which were in my shop, my stash. This is a Franken powder. This is actually 3 or 4 different powders combined into this one powder. The Makeup Revolution Translucent Setting Powder, the J-Cat Luxe Pro Powder in Pearl Luminizer, the Laura Mercier Ultra Blur Translucent Setting Powder, something like that. It's a pink can. And then sometimes I'll put the BareMinerals foundation in it just to like deepen the color or change the color from like such a stark white. I didn't, since we're getting closer to the very cold months of the year here. So I just figured I'm going to lose any semblance of color that I have. So because that one's so light and so brightening, I do need a powder foundation to really help kind of bring back some life to the skin. This is the Ulta Beauty Matte Finishing Powder in light neutral. I more or less just really want to finish this, and that's kind of why I'm focusing so much time on it. It's not necessarily because this is a love. I don't hate this powder. This is an okay powder. I just have other ones in my collection I like more, so I just kind of want to see this out of my collection pretty soon. Then I have my bronzer. This, I was sad because the packaging broke this month. It just kind of comes off now. This is the AOA Perfect Bronzer in Latte. I don't know, can you tell? There's definitely usage in there. I don't know if there's necessarily a dip, so to speak. but there's definitely clear wear and tear in the center of the pan, which makes me excited. I've really enjoyed this bronzer. What I don't enjoy is like the fact that the, like whatever is on printing ink is on this top part of the lid comes off. So it like leaves a sticky residue on my hands, and then I get like kind of black smudge, almost like I drew on my hands with like a ballpoint pen. And it's just like very unpleasant. So when I'm storing this, I don't even want to put it like facing my powder puff. I don't know where it is right now. So I'll typically just put it face to face with my other powders so it doesn't have to touch. I worry that then I'll get the ink on the powder puff and then I'll somehow get it all over my face, and then I'll just have like black splotches everywhere, and I'm not about that. I had a loose blush by BareMinerals. This is in the shade Afterglow. Such a nice, just everyday neutral kind of pinky rosy shade. It was really nice. I enjoy this. This is something that I definitely will want to eventually pan in the future, whether that's next year or if I just kind of enjoy my collection as a whole and then get to that when I get to it. I haven't decided yet. I have to soon because I have my like plan to pan list coming out. I have to finalize it before the new year. Anyway, after that BareMinerals one, I also really enjoyed reaching for the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism Blush Palette. Now, I didn't necessarily track individually shades, which ones I used, but I did reach into this a decent amount of times, and I really did enjoy it. The only shade I know for sure I didn't reach for is Soleil over here. I'm just not the biggest fan of like shimmery blushes, so I know this is going to be in general the one I use the least inside of this palette, and I like a very matte blush. That's just my preference. So I like the bulk of this palette though, and I do get use out of this just very seldom. Then the last products for my face category are setting sprays, and they're these two here. I have the Tarte Shape Tape Stay Spray. This is nice for when I was going to the office and I just wanted to make sure my makeup lasted all day. So this was really good for that. I had a couple very important like meeting days in November, so this was super nice for that. And then in general, I've just been really enjoying the Mario Badescu facial sprays again. This is just strictly when I put a bunch of powder products on my face, like this guy and this guy, because I tend to go a little buck wild with them. Those are all the face products. Now, do I have a standout product that I really enjoyed? Surprisingly, I really enjoyed the AOA products. And my favorite product for sure, like apart from these, I feel like they're always standouts and they always just surprise me because the price point on the AOA products is so low that I'm just always surprised with how good of quality and like good product these are in terms of like, they feel like they're higher end. Ooh, speaking of, okay, I mentioned the ink coming off. I was holding on to that. Can you see the ink came off on my fingers? Very annoying. That is like the one qualm I have, clearly. Other than that, the other standout product, something that I really actually truly enjoyed, the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism Palette. I'm excited to put this one away, but I am excited to swap out the Lunar Beauty palettes with each other and use the other one, especially with the red blush that's in the other one. Anyway, tangent aside, I'm very, very pleased with the Lunar Beauty blush palette. Now we can move on to eyeliners. I like to talk about eyeliners because we talk about eyeshadows in my eye bank project. So I like to just mention my eyeliners within this project, and I'm really happy about the usage that I got in my eyeliner collection throughout the month of November. In terms of my pencil eyeliners, I actually used every single shade except for 2 eyeliners, and one of those eyeliners is actually like, I'm gonna pull it out. One of the eyeliners I didn't use is unopened, and then the other one, I only really use it as an eye base, and I'm not interested in that right now. My clear standout was definitely the espresso brown that I used to tightline almost every single day, but I was surprised with how much I used like the shade Dragon by LA Girl, as well as the shade All Time Olive by NYX. I was surprised how much I used these green tones throughout the month of November. I definitely didn't expect that, and again, I mean, I used the neutrals a decent amount throughout the month too. In addition to the pencil liners, I did reach for a couple of my cake liner palettes. Now I only have that I used these two, but I'm still pretty proud of myself for reaching for these ones. So I had the red one pulled in my Shop My Stash, and then I just reached for the green one. You might have seen the video. My eye bank had this. I did wear the green one in those videos, and then I wore the red one in a video, and I've really been enjoying kind of just doing a more simple neutral eye look with some more exciting liner shades. I kind of went from wearing like a winged liner almost every single day to taking a step back, and I almost never wear eyeliner like this anymore. So it's really fun just having that kind of playtime again and just enjoying it. I am actually wearing another couple cake liners today. I mixed two. That was all for my eye products. Ooh, standouts. I would say actually my cake liners are definitely standout products for me right now. Using them the couple times that I did, especially in like more adventurous colors, has definitely made me feel more approachable to the other split pan liners that I have. Again, I am wearing two on my lids today. Other than the split pans that are inspiring me to reach for more in my collection, the other thing that's not necessarily a standout, but something that I need to set my focus on, and that's another good thing about this, is like I get an idea of what's working and what I need to target soon. And I know I'm not the only one that's experienced this. Jessie, you've mentioned it too. The Natasha Denona liner, especially in the shade, I feel like this was dry from the get-go, and it's just becoming more and more dry as I continue to reach for this. And it's really just kind of disappointing because this is such an expensive eyeliner pencil. If I was going to go for this again, I definitely would go for the LA Girl version of this. They just have it's a bit better because it's definitely creamier. Yes, that dries out equally as quickly, but it's a fraction of the price as this one. After that, I have my lip products, and I actually feel like I have a pretty humble stack of lip products in front of me. Again, I'm not counting things that I've only used one time because I feel like maybe those are items that I'm still not really sure one way or the other in them, except for this one, actually. I'm going to talk about this one. So in terms of my lip products, there's only one lip liner that I used in November that isn't in a project pan because I really am focusing on my project pan lip liner right now. So the only other one I used was this Kiko creamy lip liner in the shade 316. This is a very dry formula now. It's definitely not creamy as the name of this liner suggests, but I've enjoyed it when I'm going to the office and I'm wearing one of the other products within this grouping. I'll talk about it really quickly. I've been wearing these two together and really liking this as like my work lip combo. Plus, this is so dry now that it actually lasts a pretty long time on the lips, so I've been enjoying that. And then again, the Buxom, what is this technically? The Plumping Lip Polish in the shade Whitney. It was a limited edition shade from a couple years ago. I'm just trying to finish this. I like the formula. I know not everyone likes these Buxom glosses. This is almost like a liquid version of the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Plumps. So if you don't like the Buxom lip gloss, you probably won't like those Maracuja Juicy Plumps, but I love them. I think they're so nice. Then I have three other glosses that I really enjoyed, and then one gloss that I want to talk about because it's leaving my collection. So I used my Fantasy Cosmetica lip oil in Efreet a couple times. This is kind of like the sleeper agent of plumping glosses. I'll put it on and I won't really feel anything. It just feels like nice and slippy and like nourishing on the lips. And then as it kind of sets into the lips, you kind of feel that plumping sensation, and it starts as like a low, like slow burn tingle, and it really does just kind of exponentially like take off in terms of like the tingling. So it's kind of like, again, like the sleeper agent of plumping formulas. After that plumping lip balm, I have the NYX Butter Gloss, again in kind of a similar-ish shade, definitely less orange, a little more creamy. This is in the shade Fortune Cookie. I know everyone loves the butter glosses. I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan. And I don't know. I'm not a fan of the This Is Milky gloss either. They're not like the most comfortable on the lips. I know a lot of people swear by these because they're super glossy. It doesn't feel that glossy to me. I much prefer, I think maybe that's the thing, is I prefer something a little thicker of a gloss than this. So this is just not for me. The color is nice when I'm wearing my Project Pan lip liner, which is a brown lip liner. This would look good with this today. NYX Butter Gloss in Fortune Cookie. I just want to eventually see this out of my collection. You're not going to be able to tell, I don't think, but there is a tiny window actually happening in that product. Then something that I'm not impressed with that came into my collection last month actually, and I wanted to give myself the okay to use it. I actually brought it on a quick trip that we did for a weekend because I didn't want to, if I brought one of my more expensive versions of this and I lost it, I would have been so gut punched that I lost like one of my favorites. So I brought the dupe version, and I figured like this is also going to be a nice test to see if this gives me a very similar experience with multiple uses in a row with the same product as what this is duping. So this is the e.l.f. Pout Clout Lip Plumping Gloss Stick thing. This is in the shade, is it just clear technically? In the clear, it's just the clear gloss. Has no color to it. So I didn't get this to check out the color and see if like colors were dupes of each other. I got this to see if the formula, like, is this a much more affordable option to the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Plumps, which I love. It's not the same. It's nowhere near the ballpark of the same, in my opinion. If you're looking for something quick, you just kind of want to have a similar experience. Maybe you don't know if you like the clicky style pen. Definitely try this before you splurge on a more expensive one. Then something else that I've determined is drying out my lips, and I don't want to put this on my lips anymore. So this is going to be departing my collection, and that's the Fenty Gloss Bomb Heat. Now, I am okay with the regular Gloss Bomb formula, especially this Fenty Heat. This is plumping in a different way than the Buxom one, than the Tarte Maracuja one, than the Fantasy Cosmetica one. It's almost as if they put a drying agent in. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel plumping to me. It feels like every ounce of moisture is getting sucked out of my lips, and I can feel every single line on my lips tightening up. It's not like plumping up. It's shriveling up and tightening up. And every time after I wear this, I feel like I need so much moisturizer on my lips because this has just like completely obliterated the lip layer. Maybe this is what people experience with the Buxom and the Maracuja ones with like more of the minty gloss. It's like a burn in a weird way. Like, I've never experienced anything like that, but this is leaving my collection. But that is it for my most used makeup for November. Let me know any of your top favorite items, or maybe your items that didn't quite meet the mark for you. I would love to know. I can't wait to chat with you guys in the comments below, and I will talk to you in my next video. And until then, I hope you're staying healthy, sane, and safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!